at 5.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Tina.
Okay. I was thinking about my phone conversation with Cord.
I thought you said you were going to forget about that.
I can't. Look, he knows I'm a good mother. He knows how hard I try. I mean, I even risked my life finding our son, and... Look, if he has to go to work or something like that, and he decides to leave Clint with Kim, well, then that's just perfectly fine. But no, me, no, because I feel that you and Steve need me here, and I leave Clint with Kim, well, that's supposed to be irresponsible?
Let's go and get some coffee.
I'm sorry, but it just really gets to me.
I think Cord wants retaliation. He was humiliated when you made that donation to the museum.
Retaliation?
Yes. We've both had a lot of that lately, haven't we? You hurt someone, he wants to hurt you back. And before too long, it's totally out of control.
I think it's out of control already.
Tina, Cord knows how much you love him and how much you love your son. You know, you have to get past the anger and find the love again. Honestly, don't waste your time. You should know this already. You know, if you run away from your problems, they only get worse. Remember when you took off to Buenos Aires with Max?
Well, I honestly thought when I came back to Landview with our son that Cord would forgive me.
Yes, but while you were away, he fell in love with someone else.
I'll have mine honor. Mine and Miss Fletcher's.
Sheriff, will you try and explain to this fella just how ridiculous this idea is of dueling with pistols?
It sure is. If you have to fight it out, do it the right way.
You're joking.
Sheriff, at last you prove your mettle to me. It's done. We'll settle this issue with swords. In a fight to the death.
Clint, are you all right?
I'm fine, but you better step back.
Jenny, stay back. This is mortal combat. Man against man. Honor against dishonor.
Mr. Lord, if you'll give me 5 minutes to explain, Ginny here can back...
How dare you hide behind a woman's skirts?
Damn it, I'm trying to tell you this fight is not necessary.
My assessment of you is correct, sir. You are no gentleman. I'm not interested in talk. I demand action. Mr. McGillis, since you're obviously not on a hunting expedition, will you do me the honor of serving as my second?
What hunting expedition?
I'll explain later. Right now, I'm in need of an assistant. Someone to pick up Mr. Buchanan's body after I've done with him.
No, you can't do that. Please, please.
Buck! Will you do me the honor of acting as my second?
You bet. Clint, have you ever used a sword before?
No.
Here's what you do when you don't find the rainbows in.
Clint, you have to stop this madness.
Vicky, I tried talking to the man. He doesn't want to listen. I don't have a choice.
But of course you have a choice. That's ridiculous. You put down the sword and you walk out of here.
This is 1888, remember? They have their own way of doing things. Now, because I asked Ginny to marry me while I already had a wife, Mr. Lord feels he has to defend her honor. And this is the way he insists on doing it.
The only reason you asked her to marry you is because you thought you'd never get home. Honey, you don't know a thing about fighting with swords. He could kill you. I will not lose you again, darling. Now, I don't care about any code of honor. It's not worth your life.
You're not going to lose me. I'll think of something.
On guard.
Better step out of the way.
Tina, I don't believe that you've lost your self-confidence. You're always the woman that gets everything she wants, especially her man.
Well, this is different. I mean, I don't think Cord's ever going to live down this headline in the National Intruder.
Nobody believes anything they read in the National Intruder. Besides, you told me Dean Steller already wrote a retraction.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll ever get over the embarrassment.
Is there more to this than you've told me?
No, you know everything about... You don't know about Sarah Gordon.
Sarah? What does she have to do with this?
Sarah followed Cord out of the museum that night. And she took him to a bar, and then she took him to a hotel. Bo tracked him down to this hotel, and when I went there, it was obvious that they'd spent the night there together, even though she swore to me that nothing happened.
But you don't believe her?
No, I believe nothing happened. But only because Cord was so drunk, not because she doesn't care for him.
They're friends, Tina. Besides, Cord asked you to marry him, not Sarah.
Yeah, but he's so upset right now. I just know that she's going to go in for the kill, and it'll be all over with before he even knows what happened to him.
You know, if you would just stop talking so negatively and turn on some of your charm and use some of your talents, Sarah wouldn't stand a chance in this world. Tina, you are talented in this area. I remember when Cord left Kate. Max wouldn't give me the time of day. He asked you to marry him. I don't see why it couldn't happen twice.
I don't know. It's different now. Well, not because of Sarah or anybody else, just because of Cord. He doesn't trust me. I'm just afraid he's never going to trust me again.
Come here, sweetheart. I think it's time for Clint to get a little lunch, huh? Come on. Come on, honey.
Oh, you want me to help you?
No, I think we can manage things.
Cal's got a pretty good pair of legs.
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Oh, like you didn't notice.
Well, maybe a few times I did, yeah.
She's also got another important thing. She's got a good heart. One you can trust. You know who she reminds me of? Who? Vicky. Well, you finally found somebody that deserves a Buchanan name.
Asa, Sarah and I, we're just friends.
It's the best way to start off. I wish I had the sense to do that. I fall in love with him first, and then it gets so complicated you never become friends. See, that's the secret to Clint and Vicky's happy marriage. They're good friends.
You know, Asa, I was under the impression that you and Renee were good friends, too.
Well, not good enough, I guess.
Oh, come on, Asa, you still love her.
Yes. But I don't trust her.
Come on, nobody has proven her guilty.
I sent her a note and a package. Whether she accepts it or not will let me know all I need to.
Well, I hope everything works out the way you want it to.
Me too, Cord.
Listen, why don't we take little Clint and go outside? Have a good time.
You go ahead. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
Hi, Pa. You changed the combination on his safe?
No, I don't even know the combination. Why, is there a problem?
No, no problem.
What's that?
That's Renee's wedding ring.
I guess you don't need that thing anymore.
Who knows yet? You don't know whether she accepted the money. I haven't heard from her or Dave.
Asa, I talked to Dave.
He brought the attaché case back?
No. No, she took the money. Sorry, Pa.
So she was lying about having her own money.
Just like she lied about drugging you, just like she lied about everything else. I tried to tell you what kind of woman she was.
Well, I guess it's about time I started accepting that.
Mrs. Holden?
Detective, have you heard from Max?
No, ma'am.
Oh, this is Tina Roberts, a friend of mine from Lambview.
Oh, yes, Miss Roberts. We met a few years back.
Yes, I think I remember. Look, are there any new leads?
No, nothing solid.
You know, Asa Buchanan has a theory that whoever did this to Steve really had a grudge against his son, Bo.
Well, that's because the photos that are stolen from the album were all of Bo.
Well, does anyone have any idea who'd do this?
A man named George Vasquez. It's just speculation right now. But it's one of the few leads we have, so we're going to follow it up.
I just don't get it. I mean, why would he take those pictures of Bo? If he was after Bo, why didn't he just then go after him?
Well, that's a question only George can answer, if he's the guilty party, and if we can find him. We've been looking for him ever since Mr. Buchanan's death.
Oh, God, I hope you find him before Max does.
Yes, well, we don't think he's still in the area, Mrs. Holden, but we'll continue to look for him. As soon as you hear from Mr. Holden, will you ask him to give me a call?
Of course.
Nice to see you again, Miss Roberts.
Yeah.
And I'll check back with you later.
Thank you, Detective Johnson. Thank you. If only Steve could talk. We'd have all the answers.
See, I love having my family around me. What do you say we go swimming in the pool, we spend the day together and have dinner, all right?
Well, sure, sounds fine to me. How about you?
I'd love to stay.
Oh, good. I'll have Cook make something special. Oh, look over those prints, and any you want to hang in the school lobby, just let me know, and I'll make some nice frames for them.
What prints are those, Asa?
The ones I found upstairs in my study. Didn't I tell you about them?
No.
Oh, they're right over there. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Huh. What the hell do you think you're doing?
You want to let go of my arm?
Not until you've answered my question. How could you do this to Tina?
What I do with my time is my business.
You're engaged to Tina.
Not anymore.
I'm not. Damn it, don't be such a jerk. She only did that because she wanted to help you. If you were smart, you'd be on your knees right now thanking her for caring so much instead of strutting around here like a peacock trying to impress Sarah.
Hey, just butt out of my life, all right? If I want your advice, I'll ask for it. So, seen any nice prints here?
A beautiful look.
Yeah, they are.
So what was that all about?
Oh, Bo, he's, always more than willing to stick his 2 cents in where it don't belong. Just kind of rubs me the wrong way, that's all.
What I heard, he's supposed to be a pretty nice, easygoing guy.
Yeah, well, you know, that's the funny thing, because I heard that, too. Only I've never experienced it. Have you?
It's been pretty sweet to Vicky.
Yeah, but she's about the only one. It's amazing. He's nothing like Clint.
Cody, please, you've got to put a stop to this before Clint gets killed.
Well, I don't think they'd take kindly to me coming in there to interrupt them.
Listen, I know all about your code of honor. My husband's life is at stake.
Well, he don't look like he's doing too poorly over there.
Well, if you're not going to stop it, I will. Buck, give me your gun.
You're going to humiliate both of them. Stay here.
Claim victory in this ridiculous competition. I will not allow you to take this fine man's life.
How can you protect this scoundrel after the pain and humiliation he's caused you?
Randolph, it is a terribly complicated story, but I assure you his intentions were honorable, and I have the highest regard for his integrity. If you would only do him the courtesy of allowing him to explain.
No explanations are necessary. You've made your loyalties perfectly clear.
That was a fine thing that you did, Ginny.
Yes, Jenny. You saved my life.
And mine, too. Thank you very much. I realize that I have ruined everything. But I could not allow Clint to be killed.
Well, maybe you haven't ruined anything at all.
You heard Randolph. I have disgraced him. He will never speak to me again, much less marry me.
But he's got to marry you. Miss Vicky here and Clint's life depend on it.
I'm really glad that we had that time together. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I wish we had made more of it. Then Tina came along and she, well, told me that she changed, and I fell for that. I thought she had, but she hadn't. Listen, I can't live with a woman that I can't trust.
I just don't think you should make any decisions yet. I mean, you're too hurt to know how you really feel.
I know how I feel about you.
I happened to be around when you needed some help. That's what friends are for, right?
Come on, Sarah, who are we kidding here? What I'm feeling for you is more than friendship.
Cord, what we have, I think it's really special.
Yeah?
And I just don't want to ruin it by rushing it.
Look, I know you're thinking I'm on the rebound here, right? And that you're going to end up getting hurt.
I just think that we should take things more slowly. Now, I'm not going anywhere, and you're not going anywhere. What's the rush, huh?
Okay, we'll play it your way. For a while, we'll take it nice and slow. But I promise you, I'm not going to hurt you.
Mr. Lord, I'm Victoria Buchanan. May I join you, please?
You're Clint's wife.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Forgive me for staring. I noticed over at the saloon how much you look like Virginia, but up close, whew, the resemblance is astounding.
That's one of the things I'd like to explain to you.
Mrs. Buchanan, I was jailed without cause, disgraced in front of most of Buchanan City. All I want to do is drink my whiskey in peace, then return to San Francisco and turn the building of my railroad in this territory over to someone else.
No, you can't go back without making up with Ginny.
Well, you're a very forward young woman. My relationship to Virginia is none of your concern.
My very existence depends on your relationship to Ginny. You see, you two are my great-grandparents.
I beg your pardon.
It's true. Please don't dismiss me as a mad woman, although that's certainly what I did to Blaze when she came to tell me that Clint was alive. My husband and I live in Landview, Pennsylvania. But we live in the year 1988. We also have a ranch in Arizona. Well, one day my husband went riding and he didn't come back. He disappeared. We believed that he was dead, but he wasn't. He had somehow managed to travel through time, and he wound up here in 1888.
Mm-hmm. And because you loved him so much, you followed him.
No, I mourned him. I grieved for my loss. And I tried to adjust to life without him. But then a few days ago, Blaze came to my house in Pennsylvania and told me that my husband was still alive. You see, somehow she, too, had managed to travel through time, and she found her way to Pennsylvania.
Mrs. Buchanan, this is preposterous.
Yes, I realize that because that's exactly how I felt. But you see, my son, Kevin, he believed Blaze. And I guess I wanted so badly to believe that my husband was still alive, I followed her back to Arizona. I went out into the desert looking for her, and I came across this old Indian chief named Clear Eyes. And he was the one who helped me return here to the past. Mr. Lord, Clint tried to come home many, many times, but he failed. He thought he could never get home again. That's why he proposed marriage to Ginny. And I believe that I was permitted this trip to my past in order to, number one, stop the marriage, and number two, bring my husband back to the future, and to ensure the future generations of all the Buchanans and the Lords.
Well, I applaud your fanciful imagination, but I will not fall prey to it. You're wasting your time and mine, because Virginia and I were not meant to be together. I understand that now, and I accept it.
But I am living proof that you were meant to be together. I mean, would I look this much like her if we weren't related?
I've had enough of this nonsense. I have to get back to the railroad camp.
Mr. Lord, please. You defended Ginny's honor. You risked your life for her. Can you honestly tell me you have no feelings for her?
No. I do have feelings for her. From the first day we met, I was intrigued by her strength and honesty, her gentle nature, her unselfish concern for others. She's a rare woman indeed, and one I would be very pleased to spend the rest of my life with. But circumstances simply dictate other plans for us.
No, Ginny thought for years that she couldn't have children. That's why she didn't want to see you anymore in San Francisco.
Mrs. Buchanan.
I'm sorry. A lot of things have changed in the last 100 years. One of them is that men and women are much more open with each other about a much wider variety of subjects, including personal ones. And we take a bigger interest in our friends and their problems. We try and help.
Here in 1888, it's considered meddling and manipulation. My future with Virginia is mine to decide without outside interference. Now, I have a long ride ahead of me, and I have to stop wasting my time. Thank you.
Danger. Indiscriminate use of this product with its new portable polka dot pouch.
I am very grateful for the comfort that each of you has given me.
Where are you going, Ginny?
To the hotel. I will prepare for my journey to St. Louis.
Whoa, just hold on a second. I think you ought to just stay put right here until we find Vicky and Clint.
Mm-hmm. And Randolph Lord. Oh, please, Blaze, I have no doubt but that he is miles away by now.
Well, then let's just think up a plan to get him back here.
Buddy, I think that we have just about planned ourselves out.
Why is everybody giving up hope?
Well, sometimes it's best to accept defeat, son, and do what you can do to cut your losses.
But we've got to find a way to get Miss Ginny and Mr. Randolph Lord married.
Did you find Vicky?
No, May. I couldn't find her.
Oh, maybe she's given up hope just like Ginny.
I'm so very sorry that I failed you, Clint.
Failed me. Ginny, you saved my life.
But you have no future unless...
Virginia, may I have a word with you?
We thought you'd left town.
Well, I did saddle my horse, head for the camp, but he came up lame on me. Perhaps Providence interceded once again when we tried to go our separate ways, only to draw us together again.
As I told you before, it was not fate or destiny that brought you to Buchanan City this time, Randolph.
I believe it was. I know I'm a very realistic man, but I'm also a very practical man. You're an admirable and very beautiful woman. Only a fool would turn his back on you, and I'm no fool. I'd like very much to stay here and build my railroad.
Well, we'd just be mighty pleased to have you join our little community, Mr. Lord.
Well, it depends on Virginia. If she can forgive my lack of understanding and my stubborn pride, she's able and willing to accept the future destiny obviously has planned for us, then...
All right.
Clint, I must ask your forgiveness, too. I know now that you are indeed an honorable man with immense integrity. I don't pretend to understand everything your wife told me, but I'm thankful for the love and care you showed my Virginia.
You talked to my wife?
A couple of hours ago.
So she didn't give up hope after all?
Well, I'm afraid she might have gotten from our conversation the notion that Jenny and I would not get together again.
Oh, my God. I gotta find her. Excuse me.
They get Ginny and Randolph together. We can't lose Vicky now.
All right, let's go. Come on. Here come Rebel.
Excuse me. Have you seen my wife?
No, sir.
Well, if she shows up in the next little while, would you ask her to stay put until I get back?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, tarnation, woman, you almost gave me a heart attack. Where have you been?
I went for a walk. I was down by a river. I was pondering our fate and wondering how on earth we're ever going to get back to the children.
Well, that is a piece of cake now, thanks to you.
What?
I don't know what it was you said to Mr. Randolph Lord, but it set him to thinking. And he came riding back into town, announced his intentions to stay right here in Buchanan City with Miss Ginny's approval.
Oh, honey, I can't believe it. I was terrified when he left.
Well, there's no need to fear for the future anymore. Wedding bells are going to ring for your great-grandparents. The past is all intact, and you and I can finally go home.
Oh, honey.
Gabrielle, I'm back. Tina, how was your ride around town?
I don't know. I'm more confused than ever.
Tina, you're never going to resolve your problems with Cord unless you go back to Lambview and confront him.
Well, I can't leave you here alone. I mean, not without even Max here.
No, my life is on hold until I see Steve come out of this coma. There's no reason for your life to be on hold, too. It's so important that you go and straighten things out with Cord before it's too late. Besides, you're not doing me any good here, fuming and fussing about Cord.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Go home, all right? Go and make it up with Cord, and then both of you can come back and be a lot more help to me.
Oh, all right. I guess that makes sense. I'll just catch the next flight tomorrow.
I don't think you'll be able to leave tomorrow. They're expecting a storm, but look, I've got a schedule in my bag, and I think there's a flight that leaves to Philadelphia tonight. Stops in Lambview.
Look, I will go tonight on one condition, and that is that you come with me, and that we pack, and then we tell the cook to make all our favorite things for dinner.
No, I can't leave Steve.
Gabrielle, you're exhausted. You can hardly stand up. Look, you need a break from this place.
Tina, if he comes out of a coma, I must be here.
All right, just wait just a minute, okay? Nurse. Look, if I convince Mrs. Holden here to go to the ranch with me, do you promise you will call the minute there is any change in her husband's condition?
Of course. Just leave your number at the desk, and we'll check in every hour or so if it'll ease your mind.
Thank you. All right, Gabrielle?
All right.
Okay. Let's go gather up all our stuff and tell Steve where we're going, okay? Steve, I'm going back to Lambview tonight. But I'm going to come back and see you. And I know you're going to beat this. Just don't give up fighting, okay?
I'll be back soon, darling.
Come on, let's get the number to the nurse's station so they can reach us, okay?
You mind telling me what's got you so upset?
Who, me? Nothing.
Well, you made yourself real scarce at the swimming party. Hardly said a word at dinner. So preoccupied, you didn't even say goodbye to Sarah.
Well, I was just thinking about an offer we might make on a company that's about to declare bankruptcy.
Well, now that I put Brene and the drug business behind me, you won't have to shoulder all the responsibilities yourself. And any personal problems you have, I mean, that you'd like to discuss, we should come to me. I'd like to help.
Well, thank you, Pa. I appreciate that, but you really don't have to worry about me. I've got everything under control.
And you're sure?
Absolutely. I don't have a care in the world.
May I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for room 412 West.
You're on the wrong floor, but I'm afraid visiting hours are over.
Well, thanks, ma'am. Guess I'll be here tomorrow.
Your cuisine is remarkable, Blaze. Very flavorful and hearty.
Well, thank you. I'm mighty glad you like it. Since you're probably going to be having your share of it from now on.
Good.
Miss Jenny's a real good cook, too.
Yes, sir.
Is she?
Well, I have a knack with certain dishes.
Well, I guess that's where Vicky gets her talent.
Blaze, it was a truly wonderful meal, but...
Yep.
Do you really have to go?
Yes, buddy, we do.
Buck, much obliged to you. You taught me a lot about strength, courage. Taught me a lot of things that, well, I never would have known otherwise.
Well, you taught me a thing or two yourself, Clint. And I'm pleased and proud that my sons and my grandsons and my great-grandsons are more acceptable of change and not as ornery as I've been.
Well, some of them are even more so, but we love them just the same. Mr. Mayor, you know, there's not a lot of fellas that would take a complete stranger into his home and show him the trust and the respect that you showed to me. I'm very grateful to you.
Well, Clint, now you earned your respect. And you taught me to stand up for what I knew was right. I'll always be grateful for the day that May and Buddy come and delivered you to my doorstep. You take care of yourself. Here.
You bet.
Cody? Clint. Listen, you know I ain't very good with words, but I've been downright honored to know you.
Well, you know, the honor's mine. There's not a lot of fellas that can give a fella full support without any doubts, questions.
Well, you and May, you taught me how to trust myself. That's allowed me to trust others, and that's an important lesson.
And you're going to pass that on to your children and your grandchildren.
Yes, sir.
May, you know, without your love and kindness,
I just feel all torn apart about this. I'm all happy that you and Vicky are going back home, but we are sure going to miss you here. And I just think that it's going to be kind of empty here without you.
no, it's not. Your lives are going to be full of happiness and laughter and children.
Yeah. Wish we could spend it together.
Well, in a way, we will. We will.
Godspeed, Clint.
Thank you.
Come here, hon.
Buddy? You know, you were my first friend here in town. And my best one. It's always going to be a special place in my heart for you.
Me too, Clint. Darn, I didn't want to cry.
Well, you just be happy for me. Like I'm going to be happy for you.
Okay. You still got my rabbit's foot there?
Oh, bet your life I do. I'm going to hang on to that little bunny's foot until my dying day.
I never had the opportunity to get to know you all as well as Clint did, but I'm very grateful for the time we did have together, especially to Blaze. His determination made this reunion and made everything possible. And I thank you two wonderful souls. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't even exist. If Clint had not opened his heart.
Ginny, you opening your heart gave me the most happiness I've ever known. I guess it's true what they say, that the future is just the past again, entered through a different door.
And perhaps it's also true that time is simply an illusion, a veil you've managed to draw aside in order to glimpse a part of yourselves.
This has been an extraordinary experience. A precious gift. One that we shall treasure always. Victoria, I would very much like for you to have this. May it warm you as your love will always warm me. Thank you.
Randolph? Blaze? Well, I think it's time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Go on, Clint. Go on.
Well, I'm not sure we're gonna make it. I mean, I tried several times and kind of failed.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what happens, as long as we're together.
Forever, Mrs. B.
Have you heard the latest weather report?
No, I hope you're going to tell me the storm has changed its course.
It'll be with us till tomorrow morning.
Oh, it's going to be a long shift. I better call my neighbor and ask her to close my windows for me.
Good idea. How's Mr. Holden?
No change. My heart breaks every time I walk into the room and see his wife, Gabrielle, holding his hand. I'm glad her friend finally talked her into leaving the hospital for a while. I think I'll give her a call just to put her mind to rest.
Sorry, pal, but you're the only person on this planet who can identify me.
Welcome, my friends.
My apologies for downing you, Clear Eyes. Every word you told us has come true. We faced obstacles, and we overcame them. We formed some dear friendships, and we found comfort, support, and love, just like you told us.
And we found each other.
Your journey is almost at an end. You've learned your most important lesson. Love transcends time and space. It is the basis of all reality.
Well, it's both what you told us and where we're going.
We are all one in love.
How can we ever thank you for the help you've given us?
Be happy. Measure your time, not by the hours, but by the stars.
I'll miss you, old friend.
We will meet again one day, in another time, another place. Go in peace.